Jamie McMurray on the move, 10th place. And Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Remember on our last set of green flag pit stops back around lap 45 or 46, Jamie McMurray in one was one of the last drivers to come to pit road, actually led a lap or two there.
And Larry, one other thing about the cars bottoming out now, if they're bottoming out now, you might want to work on it the very first chance you get, because we know the speeds are going to increase. It'll bottom out even more.
It'll travel more.
Travel more because of higher corner speeds.
Caution is out. Casey Mears slow out of turn number 4. And he pancaked that car against the outside wall.
Okay, come to pit road, please. Come all the way down.
He had just made a green flag pit stop a few laps ago. He was one of the drivers that took that wave around on that last caution.
Caution working lap 112. Both cautions tonight, turn 4.
Larry, right now, fix my car now, guys. Whatever we got to do to it, do it now. This is a perfect opportunity.
I think even Casey Kane in the 5 and Kenny Francis will still be making adjustments even on that 5 car.
Brian Newman will get the free pass. There are your leaders, Kane. And here is Mears making his way to pit road with heavy right side damage on that Ford. Let's have a look at it. There he is against the wall. And the taillight panel comes off that one. I'm going to be watching Kurt Busch on this pit stop. In the All-Star race, Busch was very fast, but on the final stop, he came in and went out deeper in the field. He had a good pit crew. They had a good stop. They just didn't have a great stop. Well, tonight, through 2 pit stops, this single-car team from Denver, Colorado has been performing, and they've kept Kurt Busch in the top 5 throughout the first 114 laps of this race. Krista?
Jimmy Johnson right now complaining that he needed to go back and caution out debris. It's actually right in front of Kyle Busch's pit stall.
Coming out of turn 4, we can see it on the track near the entrance of pit road. All 3 cautions tonight have been for something in turn number 4. Debris on the racetrack, 3rd caution, lap 121.
We've only run 2 or 3 laps, and we actually have 24 drivers on the lead lap. I don't think any of our drivers at the front, but I think those guys way back there, I think they'll be back on pit road, more tires and more adjustments on their cars.
I believe the beneficiary of this caution is going to be Danica Patrick. Oh, that's the debris? No, there's other stuff out there. Bit of cabling up there as well as a few items that might have come out of the grandstand. There's that cable you see in the shot. Whoa. And that was definitely in the way of oncoming traffic. So we're under yellow for the 3rd time. Kyle Busch leading Casey Kane, Matt Kenseth, Denny Hamlin, and Carl Edwards. Danica Patrick is confirmed as the free pass car and will get back on the lead lap. We'll take a break from the Coca-Cola 600 on Fox.
And who can make the best adjustments? We mentioned Las Vegas odds for this race. Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch, Matt Kenseth, all favorites at 6-1. The troops on hand for one of the great pre-race ceremonies you'll see all year. And then once we got the race at KCK, taking the lead from Matt Kenseth.
Check out those differing lines. You can run high or low at Charlotte. Kane to pit road. This pit stop cost him. There was a little bit of a delay with the Jackman. He went in first, came out 4th.
And transition tonight, the tearaways for Clint Boyer and some of the drivers. The darkness officially 8:25 sunset. And there is Kyle Busch, some damage to the cars because a cable was on the track. That's why we are now under a red flag right at 126 laps. That's 189 miles.
Yeah, and that's serious damage. We're talking about speeds at 200 miles an hour. You need your aero to be intact, to be fast here. That team can probably repair that, Chris, but it's going to set them back.
We've had 6 leaders, 8 different lead changes. We had record speeds in qualifying for this race, and we were moving at a track record pace for the Coca-Cola 600, but that has all changed now.
Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're red flagged in the Coca-Cola 600. Our Sprint Unlimited camera, which traveled over and across the track, had a drive cable, not a cable, but a piece of nylon and fabric rope that helped to move that camera along its catenary. Now here it is, overhanging the track at turn 4. The first car coming is going to be Kyle Busch. That's going to catch in his right front wheel well, and it's just going to whipsaw the fender behind the wheel well. Now, where is it going to go? Watch Mark Martin right here. He's going to come along, pick up that cable. It's going to do a little damage to the left rear of his car. There it is in the air. It's going to catch on Mark's car, and then it's going to go underneath Marcus Ambrose's car. You see the camera getting kicked, the cable getting kicked up into the air, off to the side, and it's going to hook underneath Ambrose's car where it severs a brake line. There it is again, moving between Martin's car and the yellow and black number 9 of Ambrose. So it stays with Ambrose. It's wrapped around his rear axle. He's trailing it here in front of Montoya, and eventually will make his way to pit road with much of that rope still attached.
Mike, we had talked about earlier in the race about the unexpected, thinking back again to A.J. Allmendinger at Indy when his seatbelt came undone. How do you prepare for that? Today, Trevor Bayne had paper get on his grill. Those are just things that are unexpected, but this is quite unique here.
Another piece of it was out on the asphalt. It was run over by Danica Patrick and Brad Keselowski without any apparent damage to their cars. So NASCAR has decided that everyone is able to spend 15 minutes repairing damage. There's that other piece of cable that Brad is going to hit. And so is Danica.
Yeah, several drivers are going to run over that, but it appeared no damage. But I just want to commend NASCAR for doing what they've done here, for letting these drivers bring their cars to pit road, make the repairs on Marcus Ambrose's car, Kyle Busch's car. And so many cars ran over so many things. They can work on their cars. They can change tires. I know it's out of the ordinary, but I truly commend NASCAR for what they've done here.
And the most important thing here, Larry, is not only can they make the repairs, but NASCAR will then line the cars back up in the order that they were running when the incident occurred. So neither Ambrose nor Kyle Busch, nobody will be penalized for having to make these repairs.
Well,
it's not part of the conduct of the race that caused this.
We've always said EIRI, except in case of rare instances, and this is about as rare as it gets.
Yep.
Here's a look back at Joey Logano, who turned 23 years old on Friday. And to be a veteran of this series at that young an age, I think he's finally coming into his own in his first season with Roger Penske.
You know, we sat down and talked to Matt Kenseth the other day, and he pointed something out to us. He said, what were two of the major driver changes headed into 2013? I made the move to Joe Gibbs Racing. Joey Logano made the move to Penske Racing, and we're both better off this year so far.
Kurt Busch goes past younger brother Kyle, who is smoking from the right rear a little bit. Just maybe as he went off into the corner. Darryl, thought I saw a wisp of smoke there.
Kyle Busch just coming on the radio and said she's blowing up. The crew not really making any moves right now except dejection on their faces. Kyle Busch's night, after all of that work, may be done.
One of the things that we've been really concerned about was excessive RPM. Once the heat went down, they're pulling a lot of gear in these cars here this weekend, turning a lot of RPM. Could see some more of this kind of problem.
You can see how much he's off the pace. He's probably a good kid.
Oh, trouble.
Yellow's out.
In the wall goes Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Greg Biffle.
Get low. All right, 33.
Fifth caution flag of the night.
Saw another car. Yeah,
heavy damage to Dave Blaney.
A couple other cars involved in this.
Junior, Biffle, and Blaney, and there may be more.
I saw a couple other cars. I saw the 7, and there was another car down here on the bottom of the racetrack. I think Dale Jr.'s car It's got a lot of smoke coming out.
In the garage,
I
we'll go
think
look at it.
he's got an engine problem, or something's happened to that engine, or something's happened to the oil line, or something in the car.
That shouldn't be there.
You saw the hood going up on Kyle Busch's number 18 car. He was on pit road.
Now that's inside turns 3 and 4. Let's watch in the back straightaway.
Well, Biffle's been having his hands full with his car all night long. See if we can get an idea of what happened here, Larry. Oh, here you go, the 88. You see the smoke coming out of the 88? Something's wrong with his either the engine in the car or an oil line or something, because he's got a lot of smoke and I think fluid coming out of the car, and that's where this all gets started.
I think that was Biffle right behind him, up and into the wall. Here's the number 16, the Ford of Biffle.
But if he indeed has an engine issue, we've already talked about Kyle Busch in the 18. I think he may have went to the garage area. That was the concern. The speeds, the pace of this race.
Now a T-bone crash following that, involving Travis Kvapil in the number 93 Toyota and Dave Blaney.
Well, Mike, there was definitely a lot of oil. You saw that smoke coming out of the 88 car. That was where all the oil and fluid came out on the track, and then these guys had no control over their cars. Yeah, we had talked to a number of engine people, and they were really worried about how many RPM they were turning here tonight.
So you can see the paint from the wall on the side of Blaney's car, and parts coming down the track, a brake rotor breaking into pieces from Kvapil's impact, but Travis Kvapil hit something pretty hard.
Yeah, well, you can't, when you hit that oil, I mean, you can't slow down. It's like hitting ice, and it just picks up speed, really.
Kyle Busch is climbing out. From the first pit stall on pit road through the hospital area. Now this is from
No
Dale
clear,
Jr.
half back with a run. He's looking inside, he's at your bumper. Say hi, say hi, say hi, you're blowing up there. Say hi, just say hi. Stay up against the wall here. Caution's out, just say way high.
She blew up. I mean, you could hear it. I mean, she just started rattling and making a lot of noise, and then the smoke, and then these guys got in the oil from the engine blowing up.
Yeah, from the amount of oil dry that's going down, headed into 3, all the way through the top groove, through 3 and 4, and down to pit road, a lot of oil obviously was down on this racetrack.
Kurt Busch has led 1 lap tonight. He's going for 2.
Oh, boy, what a mess behind them. Don't look back.
And that'll be Kane at the stripe to lead that one. Busch is not to be denied. Sparks fly down in turn number 1 among the 2 leaders, not together, but against the asphalt. And Kane gets the drive off the corner from the high side.
Yeah, gets that nice run.
Kenseth rim riding 3 wide all the way around turn 2 and through the middle of the field, coming hard. 28th in line on that restart, because he had to line up behind not just the lead lap cars, but all the cars when he took the wave around. But Matt Kenseth is wasting no time trying to march to the front.
It's kind of what I was saying, Mike. You got them all right there in front of me. Pass a whole bunch of them all at once, you'll get right back up there.
Still coming, still trying. Way up high, you saw that orange car come off turn number 2. And look at the traffic as caution.
Debris on the bottom end 4. Customs out, debris on the bottom end 4.
And you heard it. That'll be the 7th caution tonight. Lap 311, Marcus Ambrose will get the free pass. And trouble with Landon Castle. Looks like he had a right rear down.
Definitely got sparks flying out from that thing. Whole right side's caved in.
Right front after pasting the wall.
Yeah.
I think these drivers definitely know we're getting in the closing stage of this race, and they're just getting more and more aggressive on these restarts.
Castle goes to the garage. I believe he was the debris in turn 4.
Oh yeah, he's got a right front tire down right there. That, see the car take off like that right front tire down, shot him right into the outside wall. You can see there the right front's flat.
Yeah, Darrell, he was turning the steering wheel, but she was going straight.
No.
Got a bad hand right there. Smoke's in 17th place. He's one of a group of cars one lap down. There are 7 of them who are going to try to fight to be back on the lead lap. Gordon, Stewart, Martin, Burton, Patrick Almirola, and Keselowski. 15 lead lap cars front of the field, 83 laps, and at least 1 pit stop to go. Green flag, Kane on the outside, Kurt Busch on the inside once again.
Oh, a little 3-wide action here.
Truex, Martin Truex all the way to the bottom, 3 wide.
3 wide off turn 2. Can they make it down the back without crashing? Yeah, I believe they can.
We've long said that restarts are the best opportunity to gain a spot.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And Martin Truex trying to break that long winless streak. And in the wall, 2 cars hard in the wall in turn 3. Danica Patrick and Brad Keselowski.
Oh, more damage on the 2. Looked like the right front was locked up and took it right into the wall. Boy, they destroyed his car.
The defending series champion who spent the day on Roger Penske's pit box in Indianapolis said he might like to try the Indy 500 someday.
Yeah, the right front's all locked up and bowed in there, and he can't, it really doesn't, I don't know if he's going to get it back to the pits or not, back to the garage.
He's had a rough couple of weeks here at Charlotte. Tore transmission up on lap 1 in the Sprint All-Star race last weekend.
Been tough.
Remember those 7 cars that were fighting for the 1 lap down transfer position? There's 2 of them right there, with Ricky Stenhouse inside them.
Yeah, I think it got a little tight. Ricky maybe have moved up a little bit and caused Danica to move up a little bit. Got into the 2 car of Keselowski, and into the wall they go. Whenever going down the back 2 and 3 wide like that, I said, man, I don't know if it's going to work or not.
Well, let's ride with Danica.
Still 3 middle. Clear high, clear high.
Ouch.
Coming to you guys. Right front.
A lot of bad things happening very, very fast.
Yeah, you just can't, you know, the 17 car, Stenhouse was down on the very bottom, Danica's in the middle, and Keselowski up on the outside. Just wasn't enough room.
Danica's made 1 pit stop, and she's coming back in for more repair. Brad Keselowski will climb out after a hard hit here with 80 laps to go in Charlotte. 15 lead lap cars back to Tony Stewart, who got the free pass on that caution. And still 4 cars trying to get from 1 lap back. And Casey Kane does not take off. It is Kurt Busch and Kevin Harvick leading the field into turn 1.
I tell you, that 78 took off, though. He is long gone.
Yeah, but Martin Truex Jr. in that 56, he was all over the back of Casey Kane. That's not the first time that he didn't have a good restart tonight. Had one earlier.
Yeah, we started to spin the tires earlier, but I don't know what happened there. It just didn't go. Didn't look like.
The big loser there was Martin Truex, who was lined up behind Casey Kane. Truex is back to 6th place. Matt, what happened to Kane?
Mike, just about every recent restart, Casey Kane has added.
Oh, trouble front straight away. 3 wide and 2 cars pile hard into the wall.
That's a terrible wreck. Mark Martin got into the, I think it was maybe the 43 of Almirola. They came together, and that really created this huge crash.
They were 3 wide at the start-finish line, Darrell, and none of those 3 drivers would give. That's Jeff Gordon, along with Eric Almirola and Mark Martin in a hard crash. Bobby Labonte also has damage. And we're under caution at lap 325 for the 9th time. The window net is down, and that's a signal to safety crews that the driver is okay and going to climb out under his own power. We're going to stop the cars here on the front straightaway. It all started at the start-finish line.
Yeah, I saw them coming through here 3 wide, and they kind of came together right down here as you kind of fan out to get down into turn 1. You'll see Almirola. Here's Jeff Gordon, Almirola right in there.
And here's Mark Martin just
right
ahead
here.
of them.
And I think what Almirola does is Almirola comes under Mark as they come out of the turn 4 area and get down here into the tri-oval. You see you're going to get 3 wide right here. They start down through here. Almirola's got a nice run. He's up along the side of Mark. Jeff Gordon up on the outside over here. And right here, it looks like Mark maybe gets a little loose or maybe cuts down trying to make that dog leg and gets into the side of Almirola. And I thought these cars were going to go over right here. They got up in the air pretty good.
And Mark came up into Ricky Stenhouse, Casey Mears, and Bobby Labonte involved.
Yeah, this is Stenhouse down here, Bobby Labonte down here.
David Stremme, a near miss.
Boy, he almost got into.
You're riding with Stenhouse.
21 still in there. Watch those 3 wide cats ahead of you here. Watch it here.
Here you go. Here's a great shot right here. Let's see what Mark's in the middle. You got Jeff Gordon up on the outside, Mark in the middle. And right there where Almirola needs to come back to come up off of the tri-oval right there, he gets into Mark Martin.
Darrell, it narrows down so much in those dog legs.
It does. I mean, you got to get some room there, buddy.
Well, right at that point is the second dog leg where the track turns. If that had been a straightaway, no problem. Everybody gets sorted out. But there is a turn to the left right there after the start-finish line. And there they go.
Got real dicey. I mean, when you get 3 wide right there and then already Almirola's trying to move up to get around, not getting the grass, got into Mark, and here they go.
It's Kenny Francis, Casey Kane's crew chief. Probably had no idea what was going on.
There's the corporate right there. I think that's causing us a lot of heartache tonight.
16 cars on the lead lap. Kevin Harvick is the leader. He elects the outside. Ryan Newman to the inside. Kane and Logano, row 2. Truex and Hamlin. Montoya and Boyer. Kenseth and Jimmy Johnson, the top 10. We're back under green, and Harvick's wasting no time.
Casey Kane got a much cleaner start that time. Matter of fact, the 56 of Martin Truex laid off him a little bit just in case.
Here's Logano, that yellow Ford on the outside, trying to make some noise.
We talked about comers and goers. We got a lot of new players up there with Harvick in the 29, Logano in the 22, and Ryan Newman in that 39. Ryan Newman got the free pass in the early part of the race.
On the second caution flag, and now he races for second place with Kane and Hamlin side by side for third behind them. Side by side for fifth. That's Boyer and Truex, teammates. And along comes Johnson to make that a threesome.
No, it's a 2 by 2 by 2.
And Jimmy Johnson in the 48, he came to pit road on that caution, but just topped it off with Sunoco fuel.
Oh, here we go, more trouble.
Sliding, slamming into the wall. Hold on to it. It's Johnson sideways. Montoya clips him. Oh, boy.
I think the 20 car got a big hunk of that, too. He got up into the fence. 48 of Jimmy Johnson on pit road, the 42 of Montoya going down the racetrack, and the 20 of Matt Kenseth up in turn 1. A lot of damage on that 20 car.
And it all happens on lap 332 with just over 100 miles to go, and there's the battling back at 7th place.
Just get down on it. See how close they are to each other right there going in the corner. It's a side thing where the car on the outside just starts to get a hold of that one on the inside and just pulls him around as he goes by.
And what happened, it was a chain reaction. You saw Montoya in the 42 get into Kenseth in the 20, and then Menard in that yellow 27 as well. Just started stacking up.
Tony Stewart shot right through unscathed. You're riding with Johnson.
Hold on to that, baby. Hold on to
spotter Earl Barban. And as we've seen many times over his career, Johnson slides, spins, absent any contact.
But watch how the 56 of Martin Truex just gets a hold of the back of that 48 car and just sucks it right around.
There's another shot of that chain reaction with Kenson, Montoya, Menard.
Tony Stewart did an amazing job in a 14 car, going right through the middle of that and not getting involved. I also noticed the 27 car of Paul Menard got quite a bit of right front fender damage. You know what? That's exactly how it sounds. That's exactly how it sounds.
So Montoya got into the back of Matt Kenseth and then got that left rear damage as he slid past Jimmy Johnson. Hit Johnson in the right rear, and there's the right front on Menard, who just inked a contract extension, a multi-year extension with Richard Childress Racing.